Well, welcome back to the World is Storytelling, and welcome to the World is Storytelling, Camille. Camille.
That's my name, yeah. What can I say? I can tell my family name, Krone.
Oh, so you're the king of the Netherlands.
Well, not exactly, but I am more or less. The story is about a Jewish grocery store. The store was in the Utrechtse straat, Utrecht Street in Amsterdam. I went there one day to apply for a job, and I studied Dutch. I remember I wanted to work because although I had a maximum grant, kind of loan of the state, I couldn't make ends meet. So I need some extra money. And I thought, well, Maus could be the ideal place for me because it was open on Sundays.
Ah, I see.
And I had to attend lectures during the week, but on Sundays I could make some extra money. So I went, I think it was a Monday morning, I went there and I walked in, and Mrs. Mouse, she was almost antique. She said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, you can help me. I'm Camille, and I want to apply for a job here." And she said, before I had finished, "Come back Wednesday." And it had to do with Mordechai, and Mordechai was in charge. So I came back on Wednesday, and he wanted to know how I came to apply for a job with him. I mean, he said, why this shop? Why this store? And I said, well, I live nearby. I know the store, and I need some extra money. And he said, but what do you live on? And I said, well, on a grant. And then he said, a maximum grant? And I said, yes, you are quite right. And then he said, but how did you actually end up here? I said, well, I know the store. I do shopping here occasionally. And then he winked at me and he said, now I understand why you can't make both ends meet, you know?
Because you shop at his store.
Price of diamonds. So I loved that. It was a kind of self-mockery. That made me feel right away at home. And by and large, I worked there for more than 4 years.
Okay.
And changed my life drastically. I met Bertine, my wife, there. So that was my first story, 1984. Not a bad omen, it was a good omen. And 1985 is about the death of my father. I was at home, I remember, and my brother called me. He was quite emotional and, told me that Dad was dead. We had to tell our uncle Tabe, T-A-B-E, and Tabe. And we went, my sister and I, we went to the Durlostraat, I remember. We announced that it was us, and he shouted to Hannah, "Platty and Camille are coming, and what nice, are visiting us." And then all of a sudden, his mood changed, and he said, No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And he hid himself in a back room, and I remember that there was a moment that he was ready, and he came in, and I said right away, "Bob is dead." And then he breathed a long sigh of relief, and he said, "Thank God." And I said, "It's your brother." And he said, "Thank God." I was just so afraid something terrible had happened to Ruben or Mark, my brothers. So he said, it's normal. When you're old, you die, but not when you're young. Then you should not die. My grandmother would say about these kind of things. Mujugas is baas. And mujugas is, nonsense. Nonsense rules.
Nonsense rules.
Mujugas is baas, is boss. Mujugas is baas. So that is my second story about Tabe. And the third story is about the Maoist store again. And I remember that there was a customer, and he entered always, made his entrance always just before closing time.
Okay.
Let's call him Mr. K.
For libel reasons. We don't want anyone to sue us. Yeah.
And Mr. K, he spoke a kind of general civilized Amsterdam dialect with a Jewish accent or a Yiddish accent, And I can remember that he he ordered something, and he said, "I want a pickled meat sandwich with butter and a glass of milk."
Pickled beef with a glass of milk.
So I looked at Mrs. Mouse questioningly, and she said, "Just give me a moment." So,
so for the audience that don't understand, Jewish kosher laws are that you can't have meat and milk together,
Right.
And this was a kosher store, right? Yeah.
Right. So she prepared his sandwich, and he was doing shopping, and then I will arrange this. And then there was a kind of sandwich corner at the back, and 3 formica tables with stools.
Yeah.
And then the moment Mr. K was ready with his shopping, she said, "Mr. K, your sandwich is on table 3. It was deep down
Far away in the corner.
in the corner, table 3. So then he started to eat his sandwich, and halfway through he would say, "Where's my glass of milk?" And then she put the glass of milk, and then on table 1, he said,
On table 1, yeah.
yeah, she said, "I put the milk here on table 1. Thank you." And then she said to me, "And now don't look anymore."
Turn around, Camille.
Right. That was what her advice was. So that was the kind of, ongoing kind of humor we had in this store. It was always fun. So this was my third story, and that took place in 1986, I guess. So these were my 3 stories.
Thank you, Camille. Thank you for coming on the World of Storytelling.
It took me some time to think of stories, but then they just came as if it was a source, a kind of...
The storytelling spring inside all of us, eh?
Okay, no, there's nothing more to say. I keep my mouth shut.
Well, until the next time.
Yeah.
And that was The World is Storytelling with me, Ronnie. To support The World is Storytelling, make sure to subscribe, rate, follow the podcast, buy the book, and get in touch. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.